Prince William promises to improve a £1.3 billion estate that has black mold on it. Prince William's £1.3 billion Duchy of Cornwall estate has up to 1 in 7 rental properties with F or G-rated EPCs. Following the revelation that many of the rental houses he owns do not adhere to the bare minimum of legal requirements, Prince William has pledged to transform the royal estate. Royal family tenants have voiced their displeasure over wet and black mold-infested dwellings. Landlords have been prohibited from renting out houses with an Energy Performance Certificate (EPC) grade below E without an exemption since 2020. With F or G-rated EPCs, up to 1 in 7 rental properties owned by Prince William's £1.3 billion Duchy of Cornwall holdings are below that minimal threshold. The startling results are the result of a Sunday newspaper and Channel 4's Dispatches investigation into over 5,000 properties that generate millions of dollars for King Charles and William. According to some renters, the duchy rejected their requests for improvements to their dwellings. In the meantime, Buckingham Palace is being renovated for £369 million thanks to government funding. Ending homelessness and advocating for everyone having a right to a safe and stable home are the goals of Prince William's initiative. However, one of his renters stated, "Many tenants will find the slick PR offensive. He ought to begin by updating the houses he now owns to contemporary standards." More than 600 rental properties are owned by the Duchy of Cornwall, which dates back 700 years. In 2022, after Queen Elizabeth II passed away, Charles ascended to the throne, and William is now in charge of the estate he inherited from his father. He made £24 million from it last year, while William and his father have reaped £91 million in estate profits. Since the Minimum Energy Efficiency Standards (MEES) rules were implemented in 2020. Out of the nearly 500 duchy-owned properties that were found using the land registry, 50 had a F rating and 20 a G rating. 6 of these homes had the lowest EPC score, which was 1 point out of 100. Tenants described living in chilly, inadequately insulated dwellings that frequently lacked central heating, necessitating the use of pricey solid fuels for warmth. The 53-year-old Claire Williams claimed that all the heat is going out the windows despite spending £200 a month on oil for a leased farmhouse close to Exeter, Devon. She claims that areas of the house below ground level were coated in black mold and felt moist to the touch. Claire stated, "I tried using mold sealer to hide it, but it keeps coming back. I have been complaining about it for 21 years. They don't seem to have consideration for people." She claims that after calling citizens' advice after being informed that she was being evicted for unpaid rent, which she contests, she discovered the residents had a F rating. Claire stated, "They said, you shouldn't be paying to live there, and it's illegal to let that property out." For just 2 rooms, another renter without central heating spends hundreds of dollars a month on coal and wood. It becomes extremely cold, particularly during the winter months, the man, who wished to remain unidentified, stated. "The roof is transparent. The landlord informed me that installing radiators would result in a significant increase in my rent. There is mold appearing on soft furnishings and clothes. Insulation is necessary to make my property more efficient, yet they refuse to do it due to the expense. But you don't want to say anything against your landlord for fear of eviction." "The house is freezing," someone else said. "The drapes begin to swing when the wind blows. I asked about double glazing, and they said Prince Charles doesn't like it." Fines of up to £5,000 per property may be imposed for violations of the MEES laws. Fuel Poverty Action's Jonathan Bean stated, "It's a disgrace that a billion-pound royal estate appears to be acting like a rogue landlord." Founded in 1337 by Edward I to give his son and successor financial freedom, the 700-year-old Duchy of Cornwall has since passed to the monarch's eldest son. Although the duchy is exempt from a number of taxes, Prince William chooses to pay income tax on his earnings. Fund the public, charitable, and private activities of the Duke and Duchess of Cornwall is how the duchy describes his use of the revenue. The Sunday Times Rich List estimates that the king is worth £610 million. They can use the £27.4 million that the Duchy of Lancaster raised for the king and the £23.6 million that the Duchy of Cornwall raised for William last year. Both William and the king willingly pay income tax on the duchy funds they receive at the highest rate of 45%. Because he subtracted expenses he believed were linked to his official duties, Charles paid £5.9 million in income tax for the year 2021 to 2022, or 25% of the £23 million duchy profit, the last time his taxes were made public. A spokesperson for the Duchy of Cornwall stated, "The Duchy of Cornwall is a private estate with a commercial imperative, which we achieve alongside our commitment to restoring the natural environment and generating positive social impact for our communities." William, he claimed, was dedicated to an expansive transformation of the duchy. The spokesperson continued, "This includes a significant investment to make the estate net zero by the end of 2032, as well as establishing targeted mental health support for our tenants and working with local partners to help tackle homelessness in Cornwall."